Hi and welcome to Bikes and Laces, the running and cycling YouTube channel. I'm Chris, the resident cyclist, and today I'm here to give you my tips on riding your first sportive. But before I do so, have you considered subscribing to the channel? And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up down below and let us know in the comments what you want to see in future videos. Okay, so my first tip is definitely choose the right sportive for you, depending on your cycling experience and your ability. You may want to factor in some other things as well, such as how far away the sportive is, the distance you want to ride, as most sportives will offer various distances, some as low as 20 miles, right the way up to over 200 kilometers. The terrain is also one thing to factor in as well. If you're just starting out, you want to choose a ride that suits your ability, so you're probably not going to want some of the biggest, hilliest sportives that are out there. However, if you have been riding for a long time and haven't given a sportive a go, some of these more challenging ones may be right up your alley. Now, where do you look for these sportives? Fortunately, the British Cycling website has a number of British Cycling affiliated sportives on their website on their events page. You can just go and type in your location and how far away from your home you're prepared to travel for a sportive. Also, this is where cookies on the internet become really important. If you're active on Facebook, you'll probably notice based on your browser history that you visit a lot of cycling websites, so it'll probably recommend some sportives for you in your local area, providing that they're advertised on Facebook. If not, consider going to your local bike shop, because if someone in there doesn't know that there's a local sportive fun, someone would have probably come in from the organisers delivering posters, flyers or cards, just advertising their sportive. So now that you've chosen the sportive you want to do, you've now got to train for it. If you're not used to hills, it might come as a shock, but most sportives take place on challenging terrains. Challenging is the cyclist talk for hilly. If you're not used to hills, my suggestion would be to find a hill local to you that has a car park at the top or nearby. Drive out to that hill, complete a ride with a distance that you're comfortable at, probably about the maximum that you've been doing recently, and then climb up that hill, knowing that that is the last thing you have to do. This not only is great hill training practice, not only is it good practice for climbing hills, but it also gives you an experience of climbing a hill when you're at your limit. So you've done the mileage that you're used to doing, and then it ends with a hill. A bit of a shock to the system, I suppose, as you're used to finishing at home or at the cafe. But after you've done that hill, you can go straight in the car and go home. If there is a hill close to you, consider riding it a couple of times in different styles. Do you prefer riding out the saddle or in the saddle? How long can you stay at a certain power or tempo? And just practice climbing and you'll soon feel more confident on the hills. Repetition and experience is key here. Tip number 3 is to make sure your bike is in good condition and working order a few days before the event. It's no good checking it the night before and finding out there's something wrong with it, because you're going to have to make the repairs then, and if you can't do it yourself, you're going to have to take it to the local bike shop, and they may have up to a week's lead time of bringing your bike in to getting it fixed. Tip number 4 is pack your kit the day before. Now, this means that you'll notice if you have all your kit out and ready to go. Not only will this mean that you've got your kit out ready to go the night before, so you don't have to worry about anything in the morning, just putting it in your car and heading off, but you'll also have a chance to wash and hopefully dry your kit if you haven't had a chance to before your sportive. The main things to remember are your cycling shoes and your helmet. You probably won't be allowed to ride your sportive without your helmet, and you definitely need your cycling shoes to clip into your pedals. You can generally get away with anything else, such as riding in a t-shirt or even in your trousers, but you definitely need those two things. One thing I always forget is to pack mitts, so make sure you put them in your helmet and then you won't forget them. And make sure you have all your nutrition put in your bag and your water bottles ready to go in the morning, because you don't want to do a 100-mile sportive without any water. Tip number 5 is to produce a top tube list. Now, I do these before every sportive, and what they are is a list of all the key points on a ride and at what kilometre they come at. So for my last sportive, I did one with all the hills, all the gravel sectors and all the feed zones on. This helped me count down the kilometres on a ride, and also I know where I can stop and refuel if I need to, and when I need to back off a little bit because there's a big hill coming. And just generally, it helps me tick them off. Instead of going 10 kilometers at a time, I can tick off each individual obstacle as and when I come to them. Tip number 6 is for the day itself. Now, don't set off too hard when you're released from the start line. It's all too easy, surrounded by other cyclists of different abilities. Some will be faster and fitter cyclists than you are. So don't try and follow their wheel, and just ride at a tempo and a pace that is comfortable for you. Remember, this is probably going to be one of the longest rides you're going to do for the year, so it's going to be a bit more difficult than your regular ride. Remember, setting off easy also keeps more energy in the tank for later. You can always burn off that extra energy that you've got in the tank in the last half of the ride, then recover it after burning it off in the first. Make full use of the feed zones. That means either stopping at them if you need to fill up on water or grab a few energy bars or something, or not stopping at them if you feel that stopping will actually put a detrimental performance on that day, as you may find it hard to get going again. The last thing is just to enjoy the day. You've paid for this, so enjoy the day. It's not a race. If you wanted to do a race, you could enter one of them, but this is a sportive. This is meant to be a personal challenge for yourself. So it doesn't matter how long it takes you, but the idea is just to complete the sportive. Thanks for watching our video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Also, check out these two videos which are appropriate for what you've just seen. This one is riding in a group, and this one is one of our energy drink taste tests. And we hope you consider choosing one of those for your sportive nutrition. But until next time, we'll hopefully see you again here on Bikes and Laces.